What's going on, everyone? Honestly, I don't know even what to say about this specific video because I feel like it's going to be all over the place, but I might have a specific theory in mind. You guys know about my theories, they're almost always wrong, but a couple of days ago there was this article, actually I think it was like a week ago, and pretty much they were talking about like specific vulnerabilities within iPhones. I think it was iOS, and they found some things that like could potentially hijack your phone and be able to store and retract and extract data from your device by sending you a text message, and pretty much without you having to do anything, which is really, really crazy and super scary. Now, thankfully, a lot of these fixes have been fixed with iOS updates that recently came out, but the more interesting thing about this was that Google was specifically the one who found this. Their like bug team, they were the ones who found this specific bug, which is really interesting, and actually I think it's kind of peculiar, and I think they were trying to do that on purpose because obviously Google and Apple, they're kind of like competitors, but they also worked with each other, which is really weird. But if you remember, like Apple was really kind of hitting on Google about their security and all those different things, like, hey, your security is this and that, what goes on your phone stays on your phone. They were hitting on Google about that, but it seems like Google was specifically trying to actually find vulnerabilities and find exploits within iPhones to kind of figure out something and kind of, make them look bad a little bit. So that in and of itself was really weird, and I was like, that's a really weird situation. I kind of found it really scary, to be honest. And apparently they found some macOS exploits as well and some bugs within that could potentially extract data, which is super crazy. But the craziest thing, and I wasn't even going to hit on that really until we found out today that Apple is actually going to be sending pre-jailbroken devices to researchers in order to find more exploits and find even more issues and problems within iOS in order for them to go and fix it and patch it and all that stuff. And dude, that's a really, really, really weird situation. I think honestly it's kind of smart though, because like then Apple can go and find out more bugs and issues within iOS so they can go and fix it, so then they don't end up losing customers because of their security and their vulnerabilities within their software. But I find that to be an extremely crazy situation. More so than not, because Apple, like I said, was pretty much the company for security and all that stuff. And I think it's actually a really smart thing for Apple to do, like I stated. And it kind of shows them kind of taking things a little bit more seriously. But I find it interesting that Google was the one who kind of pushed them and found all those vulnerabilities, and kind of smeared a thing for Apple to kind of look bad. But that's so much more minor than the pre-jailbroken device situation, because does that mean that there's always going to be a jailbreak for every single device that ever comes out? Because if you think about it, like if Apple's going to jailbreak it, then isn't that necessarily going to mean that it's going to already unlock all those root privileges and everything, and they'll be able to install really anything they want to on those devices? If that's the case, then there will never not be another jailbreak. That means every single version of iOS, whether iOS 13 or whether iOS 15 or iOS 20, there's always going to be a jailbreak for a device if this is specifically the case, in order for them to kind of keep their devices secure, which you think is the opposite. People think, if you jailbreak your device, then your device is less secure, this or that, but apparently that's not really the case anymore, and Apple's kind of seeing that, which is so interesting. So honestly, it could go any way, but I just found the whole situation to be really weird. And the fact that, obviously they've always taken security super seriously. Like it's never been like not a secure issue or anything like that. They've always done it. But in this specific case, it looks like they're taking it the step up, but this could be pretty good news for the jailbreak community if I'm reading it right and if I'm understanding it correctly. If I'm not, then that's going to be a whole different story. But dude, it's a really weird situation. I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's definitely a weird thing, that's for sure. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more important than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.